Welcome to the second video for Project 7, the jars, or the cars rather. And with this one, we're going to talk a little bit more about behaviors. My mouth is a little dry, just came back from church and we had a nice luncheon of which I partaked in many things that I should not have. However, it is Thanksgiving and we're giving thanks to the Lord by providing all of the food and making sure it gets eaten. So I'm on page 304, and I'm going to open up the index file, which is already done. I'm in design view. Remember that the behaviors will not work in live view. They'll be grayed out. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to actually change the background image of the nav by using a behavior called change properties. So it's really a lot easier. All of the code is done for you. You will need to do a little bit of typing, but that's a small price to pay to have it. At the end of the video, I'm going to make some suggestions as to what I would do, which you'll see. However, it's best if you stick with the book. You can change it to what I'm going to do. If you prefer, that's fine. Whatever you decide is okay with me. So on number 2, I'm going to click on the charity link, the P tag over here, which is right here. And I'm going to click on the P over here to make sure it is selected. Again, if you ever want to know what's selected, just go to Code View and you'll see it, and this is exactly what we want. So number 3 says to add behavior button, which is actually the plus sign. And then it wants us to choose change property. They're really not in alphabetical order as you would know it, but actually it works pretty well. So let's click on change property here. We have the div, and we want the div nav, and it tells you exactly we want a div here, and the actual element is nav. What we want to do is we want to change the background image, not the background color. So we find background image. Now here is the issue where you actually have to physically type in the name. So we have the select over here, which is the actual background image, and then we're going to physically type it in. We have to type in the word URL, and then in parentheses, images, which is the actual folder that it's in, and then we want car4.jpg. Okay. Now, I made a mistake on this on purpose. So I'm going to show you how to fix that very, very shortly. I did tell you that from time to time I'm going to make some mistakes and show you how to physically correct them. And the mistake I made was I clicked on home and I did not click on charity cruises. So we have two choices. We can just leave this as is and go over to the charity cruises and do the same thing, or we can fix it in Code View. At this point in time, I think we're going to just go and change the actual behavior in charity cruises. And then the second mistake I made is a lot easier to fix. So let's go over here, and we're going to click on the plus sign. And if anybody picked up on it before I told you about it, good job. So we're going to do change properties. Okay, we have div here, we have background image here. So we're going to type in URL, and then we're going to do images, and then we're going to type in car4.jpg. And we're going to click on OK. However, what it's telling us, we don't want mouse over. We want to change that to mouse down. And that's what I'm going to talk about at the end of the video, that I would do it as a mouse over. I will do it on one to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll do it on it all. And then you can make up your mind which one you want to do. So we're going to choose mouse down. And that takes care of that. So let's make sure we've done everything on page 305. So let's test it. I'm going to save everything right here. Remember my motto, save early and often. I'm going to go into live. And I'm going to click on this. So now you're going, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened was the actual behavior that we put in the very beginning that I made two mistakes on. One is the wrong link, and one I spelled the actual image wrong. So you go, oh, what are we going to do? Well, it's really easy to fix. There's two ways you can fix it. You can go into design view and change it, but let's just go into code view real quick, and let's see what we did. What we have on preload images, wrong thing, we're going to go down to on mouse over, change properties, background image, and notice that cart is spelled wrong. So we're going to click on cart, and we're going to do cart 1. And we're going to change the mouse over to mouse down. However, I'm not going to do it here. I could very easily type in the word down. But to be honest with you, it's really better if you let Dreamweaver do it. So let's undo that. And we have the mouse over. Let's go back to design. In here, we're going to click on this here and change it from mouse down. And let's save it. Let's go back to live. And let's see what happens. All right. So we're good here. Now, if we click on home, we still have a problem. And the problem is spelling. So that's one of the things that I keep saying is extremely important that you always, always, always try to use a browse whenever you can. So let's go back here. Let's go back to live. And let's choose Charity Cruises. And notice how it changes. All right. So now let's go back and do them one by one the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to click over here. Okay, we want the mouse down. We're going to do the change property. So now we can change it from here by double clicking. We have a background image, URL, cart1.jpg. Let's make sure that it's spelled right. So we can't see it here. We'll go to images, and it's car1, not cart1. So again, this is supporting what I keep saying. The more you type, the more chance you have of making a mistake. So unfortunately, that's the only way that you can do things. So let's change this to car1, and that should take care of that. Now we're going to go to the restoration services, and we're going to do the same thing, only this time we want car2. So we change property, and we want the background image, and we want URL, images, car2.jpg. Remember, anything spelled wrong will mean browser cannot find it, Dreamweaver cannot find it, and you'll get this white, ugly space. That takes care of that. We need to change this to mouse down, which means only when you click. We're going to do swap meets now. Same thing. Change property, background image, URL, images.car3.jpg. And that takes care of that. Now let's test it. And again, of course, we have to change. I'm going to leave the mouse over just to show you. So let's go into design, then we'll change it back. So we click on home, nothing happens because it's the same image. Restoration, now we have it. Now we go over swap meets, notice that it changes. However, it's changed, it doesn't change when it comes out. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Click on Charity Cruises, I know I can say it, and we're good. So now if we go back up here, it changes because we have the mouse over. Nothing changes, but let's click on the home, and that takes care of that. So if you choose to do the mouse over, let me show you what you want to do. Let's go back to swap meets over here. We already have it in here, so now we can choose add behavior. So now we can choose change property. And what we're going to do here is background image again. Now, this is not in the book, and you're not responsible for it. We're going to go back to our default URL, which is images.car1. That means when I change it to mouse out, once it leaves, boom. So let's go mouse out. As soon as I find it, there it is, mouse out. And let's make sure this is the right one. Oops. Which one we're doing. Okay, that's 3, so good. Then we want to change this one. Always double check. And that takes care of it. Now, if something happened, you can always use these arrows to change to go up and down. That's no big deal. All right, so let's now test this. Let's save it and let's test it and see what happens. Okay, so we have home. We click on restoration services. Let's go to swap meets. Notice it changes. Now let's go out. And that means we spelled wrong. So let's go back into the code view and see what we spelled wrong. So we're going to look on mouse out, change property, car1. There you go. Missing the JPG. And there you go. So now you've had 3 different ways to fix a mistake. Let's try it again. So we'll go into design and we'll go back into live. And we have this over here. Boom. All right, we still have a problem. So we have to have a spelling mistake. Let's go back into code. And let's see. Images, background image, URL, swap meets. Okay, I'm not seeing what the mistake is, so I'm going to pause the video, fix it, and let you know. Okay, here's the very simple issue is, again, it's a typo, and I put a period instead of a slash. That'll take care of that. All right, let's try it again. So we have home, restoration services, changes, and now we're back. Notice that it changed back to the background image of the very first one. Click over here, and that stays. Boom. So if you wanted to have it do the exact same thing that we did on all the others, let's go and we'll do one. We'll do the charity cruises one more time. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this mouse down to mouse over. Again, you don't have to worry about doing this. Then we're going to add a change property. This will be the background image, URL, images. I will do a slash this time, car1.jpg. And we'll click on OK. Hopefully I spelled it right. And let's see make sure that we have this one's here. And we're going to change this to mouse out. Save everything. And now let's test it. Your homeworks, restoration service, swap meet, charity cruises, swap meet, charity cruises. Boom. Okay. That takes care of that. That's all for this video. We'll take up with changing the actual content with JavaScript in our next one. Remember, I did some extra things for you so that you can see it and not necessarily want you to do it. I just want to show you the other flexibilities that is in there. And we still have a little bit of an issue over here, but that's no big deal to fix, and we'll do it in a later date. Have a wonderful day.